KG5KUQ. I'm here with M5POB Bill, and this is our the Midland Amateur Radio Club antenna swap out here. I don't know why we felt like we needed to. There's nothing wrong there. Bill, what are we looking at here?
This is the old antenna. You can see where the coax was severed.
Okay, now that was our new 40 there on the ground.
Yeah, with the big crane that's set up to lift it up to us.
Okay.
It's Manley Crane Service.
Tell me about the antenna. What are we putting up? What's the new antenna like?
I think it's a Mosley TA33.
Okay.
Not 100% sure, but we're also putting up a homebrew 40-meter rotatable dipole complete with custom-built capacity hats out on the end.
And those are the ones that our president braised together, right?
Yes.
With his book of matches.
Yeah.
Now, some of the video here I sped up. I'm flying a Mavic Pro to get the aerial shots, and then you'll see some of the stuff from the ground. And this video is made with a Nikon 360, so that's why it looks kind of funny and fish-eyed. But the nice thing about the 360 is that wherever the accident occurs, you've got an angle on it. You're seeing everything. Because the cars aren't really going that fast out here. Our clubhouse is located between a golf course and a baseball diamond stadium. And used to be a minor league team, but we got a new place for them.
Yeah, the point of lifting this thing up with being in dead center was to run a cable through the middle to a clevis pin that once in place, the pin can be pulled and the cable can be pulled out. It's looped on the end with clamps. At our first attempt, they tried to pick it up and those clamps gave way. They weren't tight and it just slipped right out. So this cost us some time. And at $375 an hour for that crane, that's pretty critical. There you see a picture of me and Mark Ingram on the tower. And they try to pick it up and you see it's a failed attempt, so they have to redo it.
So here we're about 15 minutes into having the crane on site, so everything's looking good. We're prepared. We've got hose clamps holding the antenna assembly there to the little barrier on the sidewalk. And here you'll see, I think I have two angles on this. You'll see, actually this is where he tries to drop the hook through the antenna. No, let's not do that. All this rigging is, of course, MSA certified. Everybody out here is trained. I think Darren over there is trained to direct a crane. He seemed to know what he was doing, hand signal wise. Either that or the crane service is just smart enough to read your mind. And that's not posed at all. Okay, there you can see that wire and the little saddle clamps around it on the top. Getting it under tension. I'll let you go here, Bill.
Yeah, they try to pick it up and it comes loose, so totally wasted attempt. So in order to
snap, there she goes.
To reposition that, they had to take the tri-bander off of the bottom and lean it over and fish that back through again. Took quite a bit of time.
Here's another angle of it here from the drone.
Yeah,
go ahead.
We were already on the tower at this point, so we thought it best to come on down. Feet get to hurting. And a little bit scared now of the thing coming loose and falling on us, so we decided we'd wait until they got it up into position before we climbed the tower the second time.
That way if it fell on you, you were already on the ground, didn't have to get knocked off the tower.
Exactly.
Now here we're doing a little short lift. Well, actually it's the full height. They're getting it up here. We've got a coax on it and an antenna analyzer. And we're making one last tuning check on the 40. It's close to reality as you can get with a big metal crane boom next to you.
And actually, in retrospect, having it had it installed now and tested, this was a total waste of time.
Oh, okay.
It didn't need to be checked. It works.
Oh, okay. Well, they put it back down and rearranged it. Here's our intrepid tower climbers, this time waiting.
So they bring it up into place, and then shortly we climb back up there for a second time and attempt to try to stab it into the 2-inch top of the tower. Little did we know that he's going to come up short. He's extended 125 feet out, and there's no more to give, and the cable is too long, and that's that. So it ended up coming down. It was about 2 feet away. And we tried to bring it over. You'll see in a minute, and the thing gets in such an angle that we didn't have the upper body strength.
That's what I was
to pull
wondering
it over
mostly.
into
Yeah.
place.
What were you guys thinking up there when you?
We were thinking this is going to be a disaster if he lets go.
Yeah, that's when I was watching you. When I was watching you, watching him actually grabbing it, trying to pull it in. I said, "Do you really think you can manhandle that 250 pounds of antenna up there?"
And even if he took the weight off, it was wedged sideways in the top of the tower. And you can see Mark there climbed up a lot quicker than me. Not bad for, he's 63 years old.
No kidding.
I'm 58. So we got it at a heck of an angle, but it's not going to work. So we figure if we shorten the cable that's attached down through to the clinch pin, then we'll be able to lower it and get it more into place.
So now, what do you? So are you right now though? He's actually trying to get it in there, and you're hoping you can wrestle it into.
He takes the weight off, and it's hopefully wedged sideways.
Oh, he actually took. So he's dropped the weight off of it.
Yeah. So we had him pick it back up.
So yeah, that could have been bad.
And to heck with it, we're going to try again.
That's the angle I was at here. I was going, man, if he lets that slip, it's going to go right through your head.
Yeah. It's 100 and something pounds altogether.
You sure? Yeah. I thought that mast was 100 pounds by itself.
It may have been.
Yeah, that aluminum mast, it
wasn't aluminum, it was steel.
Pardon me, yeah.
Structural steel. I wanted aluminum.
It's like a half-inch.
So here's where we just gave up and take her back down. It ain't going to work.
Which was a good exercise of stop work authority. That was the right call. Quit trying to.
And so the deal of bring it down and shorten the cable would allow him to come down and be closer to us.
Yeah.
And we almost messed up. We were like a half an inch being dead on, being still too long.
Okay.
But I was able to shake the top of the tower, and here in a minute you'll see.
I was wondering, because it looked close.
Right in. It was just almost too.
By this point, I am running out of. I'm flying a DJI Mavic, and he is running out of batteries. So for the next attempts, I'll be flying a DJI Phantom 3. I just brought an extra drone. These shots are taken with the ATN binoculars. Don't worry about the date on there. I don't keep the clock right on my binoculars. Sue me. So you can see how fun that Rome tower is to stand on. Yeah. Just go stand on some angle iron for a couple hours.
Barely enough room for your feet there. Yeah. You see me waving.
Yeah. Get a good thumbs up here too, as I recall. That's also MSA approved climbing gear, I suspect.
Well, I don't know what Mark was wearing, but I'm wearing a Bashland full.
Okay, yeah, he had some kind of funky rope thing.
Yeah,
looked stout.
But I wouldn't climb with that for nothing. But each to his own.
I wouldn't climb for nothing. Just I was down on the ground, some of the drones up there. I'll stay down here.
So here we are lifting it up the second and final time.
Yeah.
With the cable was shortened, isn't it?
Yeah, okay. The cable. Yeah, as you can see where the ball from his hook is. Yeah. It's just right above the antenna. We've only got like maybe a foot and a half in there.
That should have been like a half a foot. Yeah. He'd have had that. We'd had room to spare. As it was close.
Now I am not under the load. I set my 360 on a tripod in the middle of all this. I'm way off to the side flying the drone.
And this crane operator is Don Manley. He's 72 years old and one of the best in the business. So he can bring it right up to you.
Yeah, he was definitely frosty. I may try to pull the audio from the 360. I have a great one of him on his speaker going, "It's a 128-foot boom, ain't got no more." Now this is at 2x speed. It's not really shaking like that up there.
We lucked out the day we did this. It was just very, very mild weather. Light breeze, beautiful sunny. And I got to tell you, when he brings it in and it hits that top of that tower and starts, that's the moment of realization. It's either going to work or it's not.
Yeah. And there's contact right there.
And you can see it leaning just a little bit, but not enough. And I shake the top of the tower and it slides in. First we get about an inch, then 2 inches, and then it starts moving.
Yeah, you can see it start moving here, but yeah, I was pretty nervous on the ground going, this isn't going anywhere.
I mean, there's a little bit of slop around the side, but not a whole lot.
Of course, we could have moved the crane about 5 feet closer to the building without too much pain. And I guess that's the other note is have a lift plan and measure this stuff out aforetime. Do a little bit of that trigonometry stuff.
Well, the eyeball is just so good.
I'm not sure.
You could have flung your drone right in on us.
I did.
There.
Yeah.
There it is, slipping on down.
I got as close as I felt like safe. I didn't want to.
And even with all of that, when they remounted the tri-band beam, it was a 1/2 inch too low. So when it came down, the whole contraption was setting on the tri-band beam on the top of the tower. So it like a 1/2 inch hitting into the bottom of the rotator.
So how'd you take care of that?
We loosened the clamps.
And raised that tri-bander yourselves?
Yeah,
Phew.
I pushed with everything I had and got it up about 1 inch.
Okay.
So it's a 1/2 inch to 1 inch above the top of the. Anyway, it was a good job, a fun day, a lot of help, a little costly on the crane, but we got her done.
And it was incident free. Nobody got a hangnail. Nobody, with all the opportunities for pinch points and all the bosses we had out there, it really went, everybody was pulling in the same direction. Alrighty, well, thanks Bill for dropping by, and
You bet.
we'll get this all put together and out there, and hopefully folks will enjoy it, and at least you got some suggestions of things you might not want to do, and you also know how to find a couple of guys that'll climb your own for you. These guys are